Welcome to Christian Nutrition on TV, the show where we review the VeggieTales on TV episodes in some sort of order. I still haven't figured out what order that is yet. And by we, I really mean just me. Today is a bit of an oddball episode as VeggieTales on TV actually split up Mo and the Big Exit into two separate episodes. But I think it's for good reason, as I thought Mo and the Big Exit, when we originally reviewed it, had a natural stopping point halfway through. So I'll say it works out here. Since Mo and the Big Exit was cut up into two different episodes, this review will be cut up into two different episodes as well. So this is part one of Mo and the Big Exit on TV.
You know, I used to have socks that color.
I'm sure you did.
I think Archibald here gave the same response that the rest of us would have.
I got a model airplane for my birthday, but when I opened it, there were no directions inside. Wow. Dad says we should go back to the store and get the directions.
Bob rushed right through saying, wow. In fact, he said it so fast that I'm not sure whether it was a response of his to what he's reading or if that was actually in the letter. I would love for some clarification here.
It is I, Paco, the storytelling mule. Hi, Paco.
Hi, I'm going to tell you a story about following directions.
Okay, Paco, go for it. I'm listening.
Say you got yourself a baby giraffe. He wants to have lunch. What's he going to do?
Are they being for real right now?
If he reads the directions, he'll know that giraffes can't ride bicycles, but he doesn't read them. He gets on his bike, and he runs into a giant cheeseburger.
Say what you will about some of the later VeggieTales episodes, especially Sweet Pea Beauty, but this is the pinnacle of laziness. Sure, we get a lame joke about Archibald's sweater every episode, and sure, Jimmy delivers the mail 99% of the time and forces it through the mail slot, but this is a new low. They just reused footage from a previous Pacos story for this Pacos story. By hiding Mr. Lunt's face, it has allowed them to be lazy beyond belief. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I expect Jimmy and his mail thing to be exactly the same every time with a little variation on what Larry and Bob do. It's expected at this point, but the things I look forward to the most are when Paco shows up or Archibald or Pa Grape or really, if anyone wants to show up and do something different in the beginning. That's what I look forward to. So when they reuse something from a previous episode to make a new segment that isn't even new, it upsets me, as this is the only part of VeggieTales on TV that's really worth watching, aside from the regular episode.
This isn't going so good. Wait while I go home and get more tape. Wow.
Wow is right, Larry. Wow is right. You know, it keeps making more and more sense why Phil didn't want VeggieTales to go on TV in the first place.
Well, I like the ironic finish. What? That didn't make any sense.
Larry, let's watch this if we want to learn about following directions.
I'm pretty sure Bob's mouth isn't synced up to the words there. You know, this really is the most half-hearted, lazy episode of VeggieTales on TV that has ever existed. Period.
It's the story of Mo and the Big Exit.
Mo and the Big Exit?
Or as the Indians called it, The Lone Stranger.
Yeah, that title still doesn't sound interesting. I'm sure there's a better way to make this whole episode sound more interesting.
Either way, it's Little Joe Part 2. Roll film.
We're really going to do this. We're really going to do a sequel to Little Joe. I don't even remember Little Joe being that fantastic that it needed a sequel, but let's rewind to my Little Joe review and check to see what I said. And this one's kind of tough to give a final review for. It's not as boring as The Toy That Saved Christmas or Esther, but it's not in the tier of just funny and silly like it wants to be, such as Lau the Kindly Viking or King George and the Ducky. It does have some funny moments, and it probably would benefit from more time, as I stated earlier. It felt like it needed to be a 45-minute episode, not a 30-minute episode. There's a reason why DreamWorks made Joseph into a full-length film. There's just that much story really to cover here. It really is a long epic tale if you want to tell it as such. However, I do appreciate VeggieTales' attempt here to do something interesting and new with a Western setting for a Bible story. The Western setting did feel a bit underutilized, but at the same time, most of the humor did derive from the Western setting, so it's kind of a catch-22. Overall, it was above average. Should you watch it? Sure, give it a one-time watch. However, the pacing really threw everything off, and I'm not going to watch it again. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't recall the episode being that stellar, but All right, let's move on.
In the great painted desert a long time ago, twixt the feet of the Rockies and the Bighorn Plateau.
I will give it credit. It already feels more Western than Little Joe.
Oh, lone stranger, your mask hides your face. Who you are, we can't say.
Okay, I admit defeat. Mo and the Big Exit has more promise than I visualized to begin with. We then get a narration about Little Joe. Yes, I know we already saw Little Joe. You don't have to tell us what happened before. Apparently, as generations went by after Little Joe's death, we then see the original people who were living in Dodgeball City getting really worried about the descendants of Little Joe taking over their town. Sounds a lot like racism is in full force here, and yet, this is a lesson in following directions. I mean, at least that's what the box says. Dodgeball City's mayor, Mr. Nezer, has tasked all of Little Joe's descendants with one huge job: to dig the Grand Canyon. I couldn't make that up if I wanted to. I mean, I could make it up, but I would have never thought of it like that if it didn't happen here. Oh, and they're painting the painted desert. I can't even right now. Apparently, the mayor thinks there are too many workers. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, that's right. Gideon. Literally the last episode we just reviewed. Now, he does have a valid reason for this, though, as he suspects the workers may want to overthrow him.
Gather up all the baby boys and send them up the river.
Up the river?
Up the river. Is this a Moses episode where we see him break them out of Egypt? This is confusing once again because the episode where we saw Moses before, where he was like a little snoodle baby, it wasn't in a Western settings. And then if you want to really delve into this, you can go way back to the 90s episode, Josh and the Big Wall, where we see Moses was Mr. Nezer. And once again, not a Western setting. This is VeggieTales. You're blowing my mind right now.
Singing hi-yi, yippee-ki-yo, she picked him up and named him Mo. Singing hi-yi, yippee-ki-yo, she took that baby home.
Have I mentioned that the music here is superior to Little Joe? I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm now mentioning it, and I want to let you know it's fantastic.
Sincerely yours, Mayor Nezer. Okay, read that back to me.
Dash.
Oh my gosh, I love VeggieTales' sense of humor. Let's rewatch that clip.
Sincerely yours, Mayor Nezer. Okay, read that back to me.
Dash.
Mo, aka Little Joe's twin, aka Larry, grew up with zucchini brothers who are stronger, which made Mo, have to get really good at dodgeball. Mo then finds out that the Jews don't like him since he was pampered, then somehow calls Mo a traitor for wearing the badge. Is it just me, or do we forget that Little Joe practically ran the town back in his day? Mo then he simply knocks over his brother Bill into the Grand Canyon. He definitely doesn't kill his brother. That never happened in the Bible. Mo then becomes a wanted cucumber.
Come on, Zippy. Are you thirsty, boy?
Does the uber kind Petunia have the fabled water buffalo? I've only heard about that in myths and legends and silly songs.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
That's okay.
Very rarely do I compliment VeggieTales with cinematography, but that was a really nice shot. I commend you.
Oh my, you're a tall drink of water.
Hello, kiss her, Larry. Kiss her, kiss her, kiss her.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly, think.
Not that tall. You should see my brothers.
You just don't get it, do you?
Nice buffalo.
So is it true? Does everyone really have a water buffalo? Because I thought Larry was just talking out of his butt here in that song. Larry then fends off a bear with only a stick, which has Petunia saying,
Wow, that was an awfully brave thing to do.
she wants you so badly. How do you not seen it? You guys have fallen in love in previous episodes and even gotten married at one point. How do you not see? Am I the only one seeing this?
Now, some matches are made in phosphorus factories, while others are made in heaven.
Wow. I get it. That was pretty good.
Mo named his walking stick Sliver, on account it was a sliver of wood he pulled off that tree the day he met Sally.
Yeah, that was pretty self-explanatory. You didn't have to tell me. Oh, wait, this is for children. I keep forgetting.
Now, with most stories, this could be what you might call a happy ending.
The end?
He's even walking off into the sunset with his buffalo. But this is different from most stories, and I suspect it's just getting started.
To be continued.
So you see, Matt, Mo is well on his way to learning to follow directions.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Thanks for coming to my house. We'll see you next week, partners.
As I've probably made clear to you already, this episode feels phoned in. I already have low expectations for VeggieTales on TV, and really all I look forward to are Paco, Archibald, and Padre. But this, man, guys, this is the new low for VeggieTales on TV. It's lower than low. Even, dare I say it, VeggieTales on Netflix isn't this bad. Anyways, stay tuned as next time we review Mo and the Big Exit Part 2 on TV. And remember that God made you special and he loves you very much. Bye.